Are you coming to Bonaire to shore dive? Do you plan on diving Andrea 1? Would you like some tips and tricks to make your Bonaire shore diving experience easier and more enjoyable?
Well, that's what we're talking about in this video.
And we're doing it right now. Hey folks, Liz and Kevin here on Bonaire at Andrea 1, a great dive site here located within the Santa Barbara Crowns neighborhood, kind of the gateway to the north, although it's not technically north in my opinion, but it's a great dive site and we're going to tell you all about it in this and another video in our series on the different shore dive sites here on Bonaire. We're going to show you the best place to enter the water, best place to exit the water, giving the overview of the lay of the land outside of the water, and we'll actually demonstrate the entry and exit for you as well. If that sounds like something you're interested in, how about taking a giant stride onto our subscribe button, and also make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll be made aware when we have new content for you to enjoy. And I realize that's a silly thing, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, but it really does help support the channel and we'd really appreciate it. We'd love to have you once again be part of our community. But let's dive right into Andrea 1 and why you really need to come dive it. It's a great site. It's located, I don't know if it's technically a bay, but it's an area of the island that usually has calm water. Yesterday it was a little bit odd. We had some very wavy action because of an odd wind. But typically you can come here any time of day and find relatively calm water that's great for getting in and out. There's some tricks with the entry with some rocks and an iron shore, but easily navigated. It's also a great snorkel site, so make sure you bring your snorkel buddies. You're probably going to see other snorkelers here. You're going to see folks hanging out. It's somewhat of a, even though there's no sand, it's somewhat of a beach. Andrea 1 is, as well as Andrea 2, her sister site, which is actually where we're standing right now, but even though we're talking about Andrea 1. But it's a great site, lots of great soft coral and hard coral, as well as sand. You do have the reef wall, but it's not quite as gradual a slope. So it's almost flat in some areas, especially if you dive north, the closer you get to Andrea 2. The reef wall from about 25, 30 feet down to 55 to 60 is not much of a slope. So it's really cool. You've got coral mounds, you can swim around. It's almost like the reef is surrounding you. But the white sand is great because things with colors pop out, some of those critters you might want to find. Lots of great lavender tube sponges as well at Andrea 1 as well as Andrea 2. So neat shapes that could be your navigational markers, but it's also a great place for marine life, and Liz wants to tell you all about that.
Yeah, so I really love the site, Andrea 1. I think we've got some, as Kevin mentioned, some really good sand mixed with coral. There is a lot of tube coral. I do like to peek inside the different corals because there usually is something hiding in there that I want to see or take a picture of. There's also blue tang. It's really known for midnight parrotfish and rainbow parrotfish. There are also some lionfish that are swimming about sometimes, trunkfish, cowfish, trumpetfish. Really all of our favorites. There's usually just a ton of little tiny fish swirling around up near you, up near the surface, so it's fun to kind of feel like you're in a little bit of a fish tornado. So really like this site.
Yeah, it really is a great site, and Liz mentioned the parrotfish. Don't be surprised if you see their fins at the entry and the super duper shallow water. They're all around. And the shallows here are great too. We talked a lot about the reef wall, but make sure you save some time to spend time on those shallows. There's a reason snorkelers like this site, and that's the shallows. So once again, come on down to Bonaire, dive Andrea 1, you're gonna love it. But for now, let's hop in the truck. We'll show you how to actually find the site, and then we'll look at the lay of the land and go from there. So let's get started. Okay, to find Andrea 1, you will see the yellow wall as you're heading up the north road, and a yellow rock saying Andrea 1 and 2. This is the entrance to both. Take a left into the neighborhood, and then shortly, you will see a yellow rock to your left for Andrea 1 and a yellow rock to your right for Andrea 2. For Andrea 1, of course, turn left at the yellow rock and just drive on through the neighborhood.
Paralyzed state of mind. Still my eyes go drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop. Trying to find the other side.
Go right here and then left, you see the rock. Yellow rock for Andrea 1. And it looks like you're driving someplace you should not go, but this is the way to the dive site. On the left here, you'll see the signs, once again for Andrea. But slowly creep down this hill. As it turns to the right, there may be someone coming out as you're driving in, so just be aware of that. Little drop off there. You're at Andrea 1. Pull on in and park your truck. Okay, folks, let's take a look at the lay of the land here at Andrea 1. Beautiful dive site. We showed you the clip on how to find the parking area, and there is plenty of parking here. You can see where we're parked right there. The driveway you came down is right over here. And then we pulled in and parked to the right. This is a popular site, especially with snorkelers too, so even though there is plenty of parking, don't be surprised if you find other trucks here. I got very lucky, came out early, and man, it's gonna be a beautiful day. But plenty of places to park. And then you will see how to find the entry and exit. We've got our yellow rocks up here. And just walk on this path. Come on out to the beach part. You can see it's fairly rocky and rugged here. It's not a tough entry. It's well marked. You see the big yellow rock. That's where we're going to enter. But just watch your step as you walk through here. It never hurts to have that walking stick. And I'll show you why when we get up to the water. Okay, here's your entry and exit point. Couldn't be clearer with this big yellow rock. Definitely use this rock to steady yourself. Hold on to it. Same thing when you get here, getting into the water. But you step down here. It's easy to place your feet here. Then when you get to here, it's kind of slick, but step over, use that walking stick to support yourself. I go out this way. If you want to thread the needle here, you can do that. But step down here, steady yourself, put your hand on the rock, out and then left, and you can hopefully see a clear path through the rocks when you're in the water there. So just head on out. The mooring buoy for Andrea 1 is over here, so no need to swim to the mooring buoy. However, there is another mooring buoy, this blue buoy, hopefully you can see that out there. That's a good place to swim out to use as a navigational marker. So surface swim out there, then descend, find a good navigational marker on the reef as well, in addition to that. And if you're swimming north and notice another mooring buoy, most likely it's the one there for Andrea 1, and that's a good place to kind of judge where you are. As far as the exit, get out the same way you got in. Now you can see the shoreline here is pretty much the same. If you miss the exit over here, it's a little tougher to get out, but it can be done. I don't know if you can see the way the water is breaking here. There is some reef out this way. So you really do want to find a good navigational marker and come back here to where you got in. So this is the entry and the exit here. Let's go find Liz and she'll give us a demonstration. All right, here comes Liz. She's going to show us here how to enter at Andrea 1. You can see she's got the walking stick and she's using her hands on the right to steady herself with the rocks and the stick. She's at that little area that's a little slick now. But once again, she can have 3 points of contact now, if not 4. Just a little step down into a sandier spot, but that does have rocks. So she's once again going to follow that channel out. She's going to pick her way through, steady herself. She's come up to where she has some rocks to maneuver around and over. Gorgeous day here for diving. Gorgeous diver in the water. See a little step up there. Sometimes when you think you can put your fins on, you're not there yet. So right about where she is now, and a little further out past those coral heads would be a good place to put your fins on. But right about now, she's going to turn around and come on back out the same way she came in. So when you're navigating back in, once again, you don't have to go to the mooring buoys. Find a good marker, come on back in. But as you're coming back in, if you look left, you don't want to go over there, you can't get out. Same thing to my right, can't get out. So it's really important to come back here. You'll kind of figure it out underwater in the shallows as you're swimming back in, but you may need to do some maneuvering underwater to get back to here, to get out. Let's let Liz come back out.
Today I woke up feeling pretty good and feeling like I should go out on a run. Don't know where, I don't care.
Liz is coming on out, looking like a pro. That's how you do it, folks, just like that. Well, folks, that's just about going to do it here for us at Andrea 1. We hope you enjoyed the video and found that helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate that. But for now, we're going to gear up, get in, and we'll see you at the next dive site.